Welcome back, my lovely coffee beans. And here we go for EDA. This week's EDA was chef's kiss, let me tell you. We had Gauss, which, if you know, health tanking. Lovely. We had actually Hema. We technically also had Strand, but I didn't have the Incarnon on. We had Onos and we had Falcor. So Gauss, Falcor, great. Absolutely lovely. For ability, we had ability overload using an ability opens a void rift. Nearby half tank setup, let me tell you, I did not care. Duration of negative status effect is tripled. Seriously, I did not care. Especially if you have overguard. Overguard gives you ability immunity. Technically, we have transference into operator drifters blocked. I untoggled that simply because I wanted to have, my operator just in case I need to Vazarin dash myself or I need to dash somewhere. Or, I prefer to have, my operator. And knife step syndrome. I do not care. I jump around anyway, especially when I do Falco. What I do tend to do when I throw my Falco is I do jump while I'm charging the throw. So that's why I personally don't really care for that one. For the task, we did had mirror defense. That was actually fine, except for the movement speed, really annoying. But, disruption was chill, if I remember. Oh, yeah, no, we had actually that they destroy the conduit. So you will see me standing around a tiny bit because, I do protect, quote unquote, the conduits. But, I have a Falco, so melee influence, Falco throw, and survival. That was actually the most annoying one. But you see me standing because I want to test actually I do panic and think oh no, I will die. And then I remember I'm on a health tank. So I was how much can I actually health tank? And then I actually health tank a whole void rig, and then I'm panic again and move away again. But yeah, that's exactly what you will see. But yeah, keep watching. I hope you had a wonderful EDA run. Let me know how it was for you. For me, if you compare my EDA run to my ETA run this week, I already uploaded my ETA run. It is insane. Could I have not that set up for ETA? Excuse me. That would have been Here you see me lovely waiting for my other person to join. And here we go. Mirror defense. Lovely timing. Just standing around. Going for it. Wave incoming. I do tend still to run Death Cube. I think I should swap off of Death Cube. Not gonna lie. And first things first, obviously, really important. I do tend to throw into objects. I don't have prime sure-footed, so Epitaph and Falcor into the wall will still kick me off my foot. But, we are nearly at 300-day login. I'm nearly at 300-day logins. Is that not amazing? I'm so proud of us. We are at 300 days login, and I'm way too much into this game. We are not talking about it. I don't have too many hours in it. I don't have too much mastery, and I have not invested too much knowledge into this. But that's not what matters, right? Tip, as always, for EDA, make sure you're comfortable with it. Remember, for EDA, since you don't need to have everything, because the last reward is phosphor, is you can untoggle one thing. So either choose a weapon that you like to take off one modifier that you don't like, or swap your frame. A great idea. I already posted a video as general ideas for net results. Technically, you can apply these also for EDA, but I will do also a more in-depth tutorial for EDA, because I do think that can help quite a lot. In general, health tanks, Wisp, Lavos, Gauss are great options if you want to go for that. And if you don't want to do actual shield gating because of the modifier. Advantage of EDA over net results is actually you do see the modifiers beforehand, so you can actually adjust your builds a bit better, right? Here we do realize, hoopsie doopsie, I was actually trying to Vazarin dash the object to see if you can heal, because officially with Vazarin, if you can dash through an object, you can actually heal that object. That is apparently working on defense objects, but not here, so I'm not sure if that is something that I misread, because you can Vazarin dash an excavator. Yeah, excavator is what it's called. Sorry, I was looking for the English term for a second. But apparently that object is not working, but, it's fine. We will, collect more of the glyphs, and then it will be fine. Also, it's just randomly hitting. That's all. But as you can see, the only thing that I will cast from time to time is technically my Eclipse and my 2. And that's literally all. I don't even like do that too much because we do have a Dante Spectre simply for the status immunity. That's mostly... That's... By the way, we're moving. Let me quickly move. If you ever wonder why Overguard is so helpful, it is not generally because of Overguard itself, right? What is so important about Overguard, also like in higher levels, because the Overguard, the number doesn't really matter. You can have exactly one Overguard. It doesn't matter like how much Overguard, because the Overguard will be like gone so quick, right? So you don't per se use Overguard as a layer of protection itself, like the number, right? The Overguard is important because it is like technically a second form of shield gating. And it's because of the invulnerability, like against status. You have knockdown protection and you have status immunity, right? So that's why Overguard at a certain level is really nice. And that's why I do prefer Fortifier, because instead of like having directly your shield breaking, you do have first your Overguard breaking and then your shield breaking, right? So that's why I find it like super nice. Yeah, you do lose... Or you give up a lot of damage if you don't run, like, either, like, at the moment, like, the most popular for secondaries are Innovate on most of the weapons, but you can run it, like, Mazer, Trinity, like, Akicore, right? Or that classic Deadhead for non-chain beam weapons, right? And I do see that, but, like, on the other hand, like, I do prefer comfort over everything else, and most of the time I do have enough damage. By the way, that Necromite really annoyed me. I don't know how many times my Falcor auto-aimed for that one instead of any enemy, and I threw it against it, and I was like, can I please not have that happen? So I don't, constantly throw into it. Really annoying. But yeah, I probably should swap away from, like, Death Cube. If I don't desperately need the energy. I feel like Death Cube is, like... I think I will, like... what's the question? What am I actually running? Here we're moving. The Riga is really nice because of the CC. You're getting Texan and Room for the classic shield gating. So companions can be like really helpful. Obviously, if you need the extra energy, then I definitely would go for Death Cube, because Death Cube had technically do you have 2 arguments on Death Cube, like the classic Symph deconstruct you can have on everyone, and like Death Cube's own argument energy generator. Is it? Oh god, I'm bad with names. I think it's energy generator. Where you actually need to have like kill assists and not just, that's the thing. But yeah. Also, like, I do like the priming because I don't tend to prime, so that's why I find the Riga sometimes like, actual not too bad. Because, someone that barely ever primes. Maybe like having like a companion that, does prime for you. Not the worst idea. I do still want to, like, test the Darsa Cat on a Loki setup to see with Crepuscular on how much crit rate you can actually get from that setup, because I don't do, like, a lot of Loki runs at the moment, because I do tend to, like, try to, like, achieve something else. For my Void Cascades runs, if you don't know, I do tend to do a lot of Void Cascade runs. Like, a lot. Like, once a day, at least, if I have the time. But... I don't like tend to run Loki at the moment, but like I want to like see the mixture for like Adasa on Crepuscular and Loki. Why not Hero? Because like Hero, I mean, like you could run Evade on Hero, right, to get the Crepuscular buff, but like Loki is a bit more comfortable. I definitely would say I do prefer Loki. Hero's not bad. We're moving, but yeah, I feel like Hero sometimes is a bit too much work. Not gonna lie. And my Hero is absolutely not built like zero build. My Hero has not doesn't have like a single former in it. Not gonna lie, so probably I should start building Harrow from time to time, But let me tell you, my Harrow is not built at all. But I also don't want to build... I mean, like, I want to build Harrow because my idea is to, like, build all frames over time. But, like, I don't know. I feel like building Harrow is, like, a bit too much work. Just a bit. I have to actually, like, shield getting pressing buttons. I mean, like, after Wobbin, nothing can be worse than Wobbin. Nothing can actually be worse than Wobbin. I don't know. Robin is like, you know, the worst. The worst run of all. I do tend to have like, I mean, like everyone has their favorite like frames, right? Like, not gonna lie, where they feel comfortable to play. And I don't think that hero is bad or anything. I just think like that hero is not comfortable to like actual do and play intent and whatever. But yeah, you literally just wait. It's like 22 seconds more to like finish it. Like, sometimes I find the combination of like tasks per week a bit annoying because we had mobile defense and survival. And I mean, like, disruption is actually not too bad. You just walk around quite a lot to get the keys, I guess. But like, mobile defense and survival both take really long. But do you like see what I mean? Was like, oh, by the way, a blue shard. But do you see what I mean? Was like, excuse me, like the tasks take way too long. I was like, if you compare like actually this EDA to my ETA run, like how horrible it was. Like, no joke. Like, if you compare these two runs, you know, my EDA was so bad. My EDA was literally so bad compared to that. I don't know how that happened. I literally can't tell you how my EDA was like. My ETA was so bad. I mean, like, I know why. Because, like, you know, not the frame that I feel comfortable. And you can't swap anything out in ETA because you do want to have the extra ships, right? And that's the lead. Because you are getting greedy. Like, definitely in ETA, you're getting greedy. By the way, I do like, I don't know what type is actually the worst to hack. I think like Namers, and then actually these ones are the worst to hack. Well, it's actually just pressing space whenever like the buttons are or like the letters are the correct ones. But it took me actually quite a bit to like understand that that's what like was what you wanted to do. That's not like, but on the other hand, you can't just actually tap space. I barely ever failed it. Like, I can't even remember if I ever failed it, or if I was like fine with constantly pressing space and just waiting for going through. Although here it was like, haha, go alone. We only have like one to kill. Yeah, go ahead, kill. I only have my Falcor. I don't want to like throw multiple times against the enemy. And the other person actually had, you know, something to throw against. So yeah, I was like, I'm not walking after you, you know. You can do that yourself. We didn't have like double enemy this time. And this time, by the way, if you remember, no random, you know, death. No suspicious random death to us where you can like laugh or anything. But yeah, patiently waiting to get the right keys. And that's only it. And that's all that happens. But the runs were actually kind of fine. Like I said, if you have like a good setup, it's like so nice. And I think we still have not realized here. I think I asked in the second round. Oh, maybe I did actually already realize because it's blinking. And I was like, because at one point I do ask. Obviously you don't hear it. But like I do ask. Oh yeah. By the way, it's not blinking because we do have to protect the key docs. And because we barely do read what happens beforehand. So we might actually should do that, you know. It would be like an advantage if you would read from time to time what, you know, summons. We actually only check if like liminers are there or not. And I feel like that's really it what we're doing. But you know, it's fine. Oh, it's not bad. And actually, disruption, if you have like this, the issue with disruption is you do want to have like a nice weapon. Otherwise, it's like really uncomfortable to do. Keep in mind, your crew member can help you a lot to kill it. Like, actually, your crew member can help you like so much to kill it. And try to aim line at the arms and at the back because that are the weak spots. And here I was like, oh my god, I'm dying. Yeah, I will not die on my Gauss. Like, the chance that I'm dying on my Gauss is, like, kind of, like... I do kind of forget to press my 2 from time to time, so I only have Eclipse up. But the chance that I'm dying on my 2 with Guardian and, like, the whole setup is... it kind of, like, big doubt that, like, you know, at least on that level. Usually, like, everything that is like half tanking will fall up like at level towards level 1000, I would say, if you don't have like a real good setup. Or like external buffing from like Wisp or Jade or something. So I have not tested like how much higher it gets. Probably was like Citrine setup or like a Jade setup. You probably can go higher, like, don't get me wrong, but like I would be careful at least. Above that, I would be uncomfortable before anybody comes at me. But like, if you do that, then you can do. Probably there is a way to manage everything. But I would not recommend like half tanking for like higher level. The level we currently are, half tanking perfect. Like high level, not suggested. But I think we like all agree that we know that at that point, you know. And don't come at me with like, but if you run evade, then you don't need like, you know, the classic shield tanking. Yeah, but then you're using evade, you use like, you know, you simply get not attacked and you're invisible tactic and not like, you know, we don't need to argue about that, right? I think it's like all obvious. By the way, I feel like my Gauss looks actually kind of cute, you know. I'm looking like a Christmas tree and I mean like a blue Christmas tree, to be fair, but I look like I'm like full of fairy lights, so I kind of do like that. Crosslands. And he was making a joke about like it would be like an orange key as well, and I got like, you know, scolded for it. And there it is. It's an orange key, and I was like, you can see it. You can actually see like the key on top of the hat of like the Groslin, and the other person were like, you don't have to like jinx it. And I was like, we already saw it beforehand. It's not my fault. But yeah, it was indeed my fault. I jinxed us. Yep, I indeed jinxed that. All my fault. I was a bad person here. Yep. Sad times. Indeed, sad times. It was indeed not my fault. I was just like, you can actually see the key, but like, you know, what was I supposed to do? I don't know. I can't help it. It was way too obvious. But yeah, technically, if you have a Falcor, all you're doing is jumping around. That is your life as a classic Falcor user. You just throw, jump, throw, jump, throw. I mean, like, at least that's how I play. Some people like just standing still. But the issue is if you're standing still and you throw, then you will move slightly, and that what annoyed me. And when you like jump, then it will not happen. Because if you jump, you actually just jump. See, like, that I move forward. I mean, like, probably it looked also weird because of the key dock, but like, I don't know what I did there. I nodded at you. That's exactly what I did. I can't tell you why I did it. But field honored, you know, Gauss in his prettiest form nodded at you. Brilliant. Okay, let's go. See you in a second. We got, like, you know, a duplicate. We're not talking about it, but off to the last one, which is survival, which probably feels like it will take forever. You can reduce the time you need by killing Necromex, by the way, but that's about it. So, yeah, we're having a lots of fun. You know, 10-minute survival, you know, absolutely adorable, lovely. But let's go. We're happy. Like, all we're doing, by the way, is, like, you know, once again, stroke 5. That's, like, the issue sometimes, you know. If you have, like, too good of a setup, is it, like, actually struggling? Like, you know, are we pretending like we're struggling? I did, by the way, also have the Coda Hemo, like I said. But, like, I think I'm, like, shooting it, like, here and there. By the way, I just realized I did have for both the owners, right? For ETA and EDA, but like, you know, it is built, like, don't get me wrong, but like, not a good weapon. Is it the worst weapon in the world? No. Is it a good weapon? No. Here I'm trying to be helpful and trying to, like, you know, scratch the back of that Voidrick, and then I realized I'm not helpful, I'm leaving, and then I think, like, I'm walking back in a second and try to continue, like, smacking the back with Valkyr, and then, like, you know, I pretend like I'm helpful. Yeah. But yeah, if you're killing the necromag, you do reduce the timer, you know, so we do spawn the necromag, kill it. If you can't kill necromag, simply don't spawn them. It's fine. You just stay a little bit longer in the mission. That's literally all that happens. So don't worry about it. Like, literally don't worry about it. All that happens is that you're staying a little bit longer in the mission. That's literally all. Oh yeah, and here I got told that I probably don't want to like stay too close because of like, you know, spamming mold and like casting like or like creating the void rifts constantly, and I was like, nah, I will be fine. Not even having my eclipse up, but like, I will be fine, right? You know, absolutely. And here I'm deciding that probably like at one point there will be more enemies for me to kill, right? Where I can actually proc my melee influence. But, you know, that was really optimistic. I did not feel like that would happen. Oh, there they are. Proc. Yep, that's exactly what I did for the next 7.5 minutes. Walking back and forth, and for some reason, like, missing that Jade Eximus. We're not talking about it. I did, by the way, also had the wrong Bane mod on. Which, you know, in the end, did not matter too much, but I did indeed have the wrong Bane mod on. Where I'm like, I always forget to swap the Bane mod. But I'm also like, I don't want to like have for every Bane a Bane loadout, because I don't want to like spend the plot just to like just swap the Bane out, right? So yeah, I don't know about that. You know, I don't know what's the right and the wrong thing is for that, but like it is hilariously for that actually. And here I'm like, you're stealing my kills. Yep, someone walked my way and stealing my kills. Can you believe that? Absolutely ridiculous. Horrendous. Kill stealer. Can't believe it. But yeah, if you're ever wondering what we're doing, well, 10-minute survival, nothing. We were usually watching a YouTube video. That's about it. Or we're chit-chatting. Or tapping out and scrolling on TikTok on the side. So yeah, we're doing a lot while doing that. We're absolutely paying attention while playing all of these, by the way. I'm not always surprised of like, you know, what actually happened and like if I have to do shit. One of the runs that we did to get like a Codal Lich, I was already like standing in the extraction point, and then I got told, by the way, tap back in, your Lich spawned right next to you in the extraction point, and I was like, F. I had to like actually tap back in, walk out of the extraction point, kill it weirdly, and hope that so that the timer stopped, right? So that was ideal, right? That the game made that even happen. I mean, like, I was not unthankful because, you know, I actually got my stab, but, you know, so, you know, tapping out of the game while doing stuff is, you know, kind of something that happens on a regular basis. But yeah, we still have to like, you know, suffer here for like 3 minutes and 30 seconds. With 100% life support. No, currently... Oh, wait, 199. Are we going back up? I don't think so. Because I do not kill in front of me. But see, my kill's getting stolen again. Is that not ridiculous? Is that not... I find that it's so mean. How dare. How dare there. But yeah, that's all the survival. And if you remember that, or like, do you remember? I see most of you don't remember, but like, I did that actually like each day before I started Void Cascade. I was indeed running lure survivors like each day to get my void traces and like my ducats. And I was like just sitting there throwing my Falcor or running circles. What I, by the way, do still laugh because, you know, Void Cascade is nothing else than like just running circles, right? Don't get me wrong, but like, the patient. My patience is waning. Is this entertaining? You know, I guess you get the idea. But like, you know, great song. It's indeed a great song. I do like that song actually really a lot. And we're going down to like a minute, right? So we're nearly done. I'm kind of getting bullied. And he was like, can I get please a bit of help? Because I don't have like a good weapon. But like, then I was like, no, I'm dealing here something with my own. And I was like, but like, there's a Voidrick killing me. And then there was like the discussion, nothing can kill you. And then I was like, but I don't know. And then I think I got to the idea of like actually testing how much my build can like survive. That's how we like started with the whole, your build should be like, you know, immortal type. And I was like, is it like actually immortal? And they were like, yeah, technically, yeah, you should be immortal. And I was like, how immortal is immortal? And I think then I was standing in front of the Voidrick, and then I got scared again. I was running. So yeah, great conversation that we had. I appreciate that conversation. But I think we get like a good reward. I think we're getting like actually a Tauforge yellow. Oh yeah, here, hi. Oh yeah, and here I'm blaming that they like killed the arms, right? Because I was like, you can't even like, they can't even attack me because you killed the arms. Yep. Am I not like really good at like, you know, imitating the conversation? I feel like I'm really good at imitating the conversation that we had back then. Yeah, and here I'm like, actually using my T, and then I'm like, that's bone. Oh no, it's actually Blitz Eximus. Yep. 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 Yeah, Okay. My half looks fabulous. It's not even... I think I lost a tiny bit of half. Oh, I have a lot of slash ticks on me. And here I was like, well, I'm out. I'm dying to slash ticks. Wee you. I have 2 HP. Wee you. Wee. Oh, no, there we go. I'm good again. You know. But... guess what? I didn't die. I did survive all of that. Oh yeah, and chomp. You know. I did indeed survive, so... there we go. And that was EDA. Oh no, we got Tauforge red and not Tauforge yellow. But yeah. I hope you had a fantastic time watching me getting, you know, like, bullied at ETA, had an easy run at EDA. I hope you had a great run in EDA. And see you next time. Bye-bye.